the 2 position and the 1 position, right? Like if you're the 2, what you should be doing to the 1 guy, and if you're the 1, what you should be doing to the 2 guy. All right? We'll start with the 2 position. So I'll go over some of these principles and we just add in because I got it written down. So the first thing, when you're in a 2-on-1, you want 180 degrees on your opponent. Okay? We will go, just leading into this, we will go over striking. We will go over where you should strike. A lot of these drills will be about how to do it with grappling, because unfortunately there's no good way to train hard striking in a meaningful way in practice. We could do something like, if I hit you 3 times, you sit down, but then I feel like everyone sits back and strikes, and if you actually look at real fights, lots of people don't ever go down to striking. In fact, the majority of people never go down to striking, right? Every now and then one lands and they drop real fast, and it feels way better than the grindy bullshit grappling, but most of the time.
Typically it's the higher end fighters. Higher end fighters generally will not go down to strikes. That's usually the most common scenario.
A lot of times they have the kit on point, and then also they're just used to being hit. A lot of times the hits in the sport are really jarring, not damaging. So you, early on, you take a shot and you're like, oh fuck, I'm dead. And then you get on the ground and you're all like, oh actually, everything works fine. And then they stand back up and they're in the next round, right? I can't tell you how many like axe person highlights I've seen of people getting dropped. And I'm like, oh, I was there. He was up the next round fighting the rest of the day. Like, the guy just took a hard shot and it was scary, and he went down. And then once he was down, he was all like, oh, no, I'm good, right? So, we definitely are going to push the grappling aspect of 2v1 way more than the striking aspect of 2v1. We will cover it. Obviously, if you've got a killer with a 2-handed axe, holding him and setting up striking is a good thing. We'll talk about how to hold, but that's more brief. Majority of what we do is grappling. So, want to let that know when we head in here. So first, 180 degrees on the rail, all right? So one of the first things to know is it is so much harder for him to deal with 2 people when they're on either side of him than it is when they're on the same side, all right? Like, we are not able to attack Craig in nearly the same way here as we are if I take the rail to the other side, all right? So when we can, when we're in a 2v1, there's stuff that I can do here. But we prefer to have both sides on the rail. This severely limits what he is able to do offensively, all right? Which gives us a better opportunity to slowly grind him down. Anything else on that? Nope. Cool. Second thing, as the 2v1, it is written on my notes, stay on the goddamn rail. And it's written on that way for a reason. Stay on the goddamn rail. So there are options, right? There are options. I can be on the rail. When I say on the rail, I mean wait on the rail. I don't mean like, yeah, dude, I'm on the rail. It's fucking right there. We're good. No, you're about to get thrown. I want here. Weight is here on the rail. All right? The other option is now I'm off the rail. All right? If I want to strike a few times, look, see what we've got. All right, cool. I come to the rail. I initiate grapple. I do not initiate grapple from off the rail. I do not stand in the grapple off the rail. My weight is always on the rail, because when we get to the 1, his #1 way of punishing and winning the 2v1 is someone steps off the rail. All right? It's what I wait for in every 2v1 I'm ever in, is for someone to step off the rail, and most of the time it's the guy behind me. And it's generally because whoever's standing right here on Craig is like, oh yeah, no, I can do pretty much whatever I want. We're good. Yeah, let's see what happens. So what's happening? Oh no, I'm fucked. Right? So stay on the rail. I say that a bunch of times. We're gonna mess it up a lot. It's how it goes. Because Craig's gonna be good at staying up, and eventually you're gonna be trying different things, and you're not really gonna think about it, and you're gonna lean away from the rail. But as you get punished for that more and more, you'll start to realize why I am screaming about this. Stay on the goddamn ground. Anything else?
Nope.
All right.
True words.
So here's the next big thing. A lot of times I talk about we should always be attacking his top and his bottom, right? Someone should be wrestling up top, someone should be attacking base, all right? There are maybe a situation or two out there where that's not true, but as like a guiding standard, that is true. The number one most common mistake that isn't standing off the rail that you see in a 2v1 is this. All right?
I got it. This is easy.
Yeah. I pull him this way, he pulls him that way, and Craig stands in the middle. He maybe feels a little uncomfortable as we yank on him, and he doesn't even have to do anything. He's just like, this is cool. All right, and we wear ourselves out. It is so bad to the point that before I started training 2v1s, this is totally true, when I would interact with my team, if I came up to Adam wrestling Craig and I wanted to help Craig, I'd walk up, I'd grab him, and I'd say, I got him, leave. Because he was only going to get in my way because we didn't know how to work together, and every throw that I could do, Adam was probably grabbing him some way and couldn't make it happen, right? Now that we've trained it, we don't have that same issue, but it is literally harder to take someone down with two than with one if you are making this mistake, and it's commonly made. And of course it is, right? Both of you want to grab him and add your weight to him. You just don't realize that in some situations your weight is actually counteracting each other and you are removing weight from him. All right? So, attack top and attack base. All right? We're going to go into, after lunch, a couple of different ways to attack base. One of the ways we do it a lot right now is we just call it the figure four. It's a figure four leg lock, essentially. It's not, well, you do a figure four and lock his leg. But it's a great way to start messing with someone if this person has his top. So, going over real quick, it's like if I can push him over here to get this and then go boom and start taking this leg, this is a very good way to start breaking down his base. And what's really nice about this is actually people can sometimes stay up for a while in this, but it's very difficult to attack without one of your legs. So like even if I'm stable in this, I'm just like, this sucks, right? And we'll talk about how to defend that as well, going into the one. But anyway, any way that we can be attacking top and bottom at the same time is very beneficial. Let's see, we're gonna do passing head control. Let's do that after lunch. Let's do the last principle for the 2 and the 2v1 is communicate. All right? Every team has their own way of communicating, I think. This was a struggle for us for a long time. I'll tell you what our rules are for communication because it's where we have found the most benefit. But I think to a degree, everyone has what they want to know. So if your team wants to do it your own way, that's fine. So in general,